Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you my bold National League predictions for the upcoming 22-23 season. Now you might have seen Sky Sports do a similar concept, that's where I've got the idea from. I think it's a really good idea and that's why I'm doing it. I've put a couple of changes to it to make it one step better. Before we get into my bold and controversial predictions, go down there, smash a like. Let's go for 122 likes on today's video. Subscribe with the notification bell on so you never miss a video. And let's get into the controversial and bold predictions. We're going to be starting with the best signing that has been made this season, and I've given this to Elliot Lee. The former Luton Town man snubbed last-minute EFL offers to join the exciting project that is going on at Wrexham FC. Now, we know Lee last season, he spent most of his time on loan at Charlton Athletic, where he made 34 appearances and he became a somewhat fans' favourite. Lee carries a huge amount of experience in the Football League, and the fact that we've been able to bring that down to the National League is an incredible coup and is massive for us this season. He's very versatile up front as well, which is a great asset for us. He can play in centre midfield, centre attacker midfield, striker. So I think overall this is an incredible signing. Now the next category is the most underrated signing that has been made this season, and I've given this to Dale Gorman. Now the Northern Irish midfielder has recently been brought in by Dean Brennan after being ejected from Chris Hargreaves' plans at Yeovil Town and after not signing a new contract. Gorman carries a load of experience in the EFL, having made 83 appearances for multiple clubs in the Football League. He's got 14 caps for Northern Ireland under-21s. He played a big role in Leyton Orient's title-winning 18-19 squad. And not to forget, last season he was a rock in the midfield for Yeovil after he nearly played every game for them, playing 40 times and scoring 4 goals. I think this is a really good bit of business made by the manager Dean Brennan, and I think Dale Gorman is one of the most underrated signings. The next category is one to watch. The player I think everyone should be looking out for this season. I've given this to Alfie Rutherford, the Dorking Wanderers striker, who scored 32 goals in 37 last year in the National League South. It's a no-brainer to pick him for this one. Now, whether Rutherford will score as many now he's got a strike partner in Ryan Seeger from Hungerford Town, we don't know. Maybe they'll share the goals equally, or maybe one of them will storm ahead on the goal-scoring list. Rutherford's only played one season in the past in the National League, but that season was incredible, where he scored 15 and 35 for Havant Waterloo, so he's proven he can score in this league before, and that was at just 20 years old. I think he's definitely a player to look out for, and after such an amazing season for Dorking last year, he was the reason why they might have got promoted at the end of the day. His 32 goals is insane, and I'm hoping Rutherford can carry that form up a league from the National League South to the National League, and Alfie Rutherford is my player to watch. The next category is young talent, the player that is at a young age that I think everyone should look out for. I have given it to Jay Rowe of Scunthorpe United. Now, the 20-year-old centre-back who plays for Scunthorpe is my pick for this one. You might have heard me talk about Rowe in the last video, but he's already played 64 times in League 2 for Scunthorpe at age 20, which is absolutely crazy for a young defender like him. I think we'll be hearing a lot of praise of him this season. We'll be talking about him a lot. Him and Max Cleworth are two defenders that are young that I think are the ones to look out for this season. And I also want to give a shout out to Marcus Sablier of Bromley. I think he's going to really blossom this season. But J-Rowe is the pick for me. Oh, this is where it's going to get tasty. Now we're going to be talking about the underachievers, who I think will underachieve this season. I reckon I couldn't decide between Scunthorpe or Halifax, but I've gone for Halifax purely because of what happened last year. Now, they've lost Pete Wild, who will feel irreplaceable to the Shaman fans. Alongside losing Wild, they've also lost multiple key players. Billy Waters to Barrow, Niall Marr to Grimsby Town, Green to Grimsby, Warren to Bromley, and it looks like they're losing Jesse Deborah to Huddersfield B. So they've lost a whole host of players, and these are all players that had a massive impact in where they finished last year, and to lose them in the transfer window is not ideal. The replacements that they've brought in to replace these players who have left, they're all right, but do they really match the players that they had last year, and will they really do as well as they did? I don't think they do personally. Don't get me wrong, it's a big ask for Chris Millington to do as well as they did last season, because I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, underachievers this season is going to be Halifax. I do like the signing of Manny Diaz-Aruve from Grimsby Town, though I think with regular game time, with a full season at Halifax, I think he could turn into another Billy Waters and score 10 plus goals. I just want to say as well, I don't think Halifax will do awful, but I just can't see them matching what they did last year and where they finished last year, and that's the whole point of being underachievers. I think they're not going to match what they did last year. We're going to be talking about the opposite now, a more positive category, overachievers, the team that we don't expect to do well at the start of the season, that prove everyone wrong and go that one step further than what we expected. Again, this was a really tough one. I had a couple of names that I was going to pick: York City, Woking, Dorking Wanderers. You know, they were all names I was thinking of, but at the end, I went for York City. Now, I've backed York City since day one, and since they got promoted, when they had 3 players contracted, I said, if you go back a couple of videos, I said, I think they're really going to do well, and they will get, I said playoffs at the time. Whether they'll get that, I don't know. I'm a big fan of John Askey from his time at Macclesfield. You know, he proved that anything's possible with a small budget. He did wonders with Macclesfield then. And I think he can definitely prove a few people wrong this season with York. Most people are predicting them to be lower end of the table, but I think with the squad they've got at the minute, and maybe 1 or 2 more additions, I think they can really be pushing for top 11 for me. My only concern for York is, where will the goals come from? Obviously, they've brought in Scott Bowden from Boreham Wood, who, okay, he scored 11 goals last year, and they've got Lionel John Lewis as well, but we've merged these stats together, and they've got 18 goals in 66 games last season, combined with the duo of Bowden and John Lewis. Maybe another striker wouldn't go amiss to help boost their striker options. I think if they could get another striker, and they could be contenders to get in the playoffs because of the quality that they've brought in loads of areas of the pitch. And like I said, keep an eye out for Dorking and Woking. They're my other 2 picks that I could have gone for. And the winners now, I can only see this going one way, and I think, and I'm going to hope, that it's going to be Wrexham this season. I think we've learned a lesson from last season. Parkinson's got rid of any dead wood that he thinks he doesn't need in the team anymore, and he's replaced it with players of a higher quality which provide better squad depth. It's the second season for most of these players in this team, so hopefully they've gelled and know each other really well. And at least this season's not going to be like an experiment season. We know our strongest starting 11, bar maybe 2 or 3 positions, whereas last year it was a mystery in nearly every position who was going to play there. And I think the quality that we've got in the team is immense, and hopefully it can be our year. With the likes of Mullin and Palmer up top, Davis in midfield, O'Connor, Young, Hayden, Tozer at the back, we've got a really strong team in every area of the pitch. I'm going to put my fingers crossed that Wrexham can win the league this year. I think we are the favourites too as well. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below who you think is going to win the National League this season. And let me know the under and overachievers who you think, in your opinion. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment down below as well, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.